This is the Steropsis.
There's this practice of giving money to people who are celebrating, and now somehow some people are feeling that it's turning into extortion, and some people feel it's a good thing to preserve this culture. But to some extent, it's a very nice thing, but some people are overdoing it and becomes a thing of concern. Now, the practice of giving money at events such as weddings, funerals, birthdays, and maybe other religious ceremonies. These are very good things. It's deeply embedded in many cultures worldwide. This is not only an African thing. It happens in Asia, happens even in America and Europe also. However, the perception of this practice can range from a cherished tradition to a form of social pressure, depending on the context and the individual perspective on who is involved in this matter. Because actually, it's a good tradition, and in Africa, I can say it's a good tradition. Even in some other places, it's also a good tradition. Now, it's seen as a symbol of generosity and support to the person who is celebrating. Now, in many cultures, giving money is a way of expressing goodwill, support to the host, and to strengthen communal ties. Now, in Asian culture, for example, in countries like China, Japan, and India, monetary gifts in red envelopes or decorative packets symbolizes prosperity and blessing to the person who is celebrating. Now, in African and Caribbean traditions, guests at weddings or funerals contribute financially to help offset the cost as a sign of respect, as a sign of also generosity, a sign of care also. Now, in Western culture, cash gifts at weddings or milestone celebrations are common. They are seen as practical way to help the couple or the person who is celebrating. So you can see in almost all the cultures, you have their way they do it and the understanding behind it. Now, but sometimes some people go overboard. In this context, giving money fosters a sense of community and reciprocity where today's giver may be tomorrow's recipients. Now, there's this reciprocal effect to this thing, where today you may be helping this person offset the debts and other one, because having like wedding ceremony, all those things, sometimes it's very expensive. And some people just feel like, okay, let's help you offset some other things. Like in African culture, you could be helped. Maybe the rent canopy for you, some other people come take care of the DJs, a lot of things happen, or buy you even drinks or support you with some other things. Like you see some other ceremony in Southeast or in Igbo land where people buy you cow to help reduce the cost that day. Now, what happens when it becomes extortion? Now, this is when it becomes extortion, social pressure and obligation. That's when you make this thing like it puts pressure on the person who is doing it, and you make it a kind of being an obligation to somebody who is coming. It should be a voluntary action, not actually an obligation you are placing on that person, because sometimes some people go at an extreme where the person, the guest even pays for the food he's eating or even buys the clothes that he's going to wear in your own occasion. For God's sake, not be him put the occasion, now you put the occasion. You get? So, on the other hand, some people feel that monetary gifting is becoming less about generosity and more about obligation or extortion. You understand? Now, what happens when expectations are too high also? Hosts explicitly request certain amounts or shame those who give less. And this is a very big problem. Then when you go to occasion and somebody will say, I give you such amount of money during your own time and you're giving me this small thing, it's placed upon the person because you gave me book during your own time, you bought me a pencil, and then you're returning this pencil, or the book I bought for you cost like 100 naira, and then you're buying me a book of 50 naira. No, that's not the intention of doing this. Because you gave me 100 naira because you had 100 naira, you don't know the amount the person giving you has. And it should be received in good faith. Well, you are not giving him because you wanted him to give you back. But now, some people have turned it into a battle. And when that boy does not have money, the person will not even go to an event because it's now a kind of a social pressure. It becomes a pay to attend events. Some weddings, to be sincere, some weddings are paid to attend events or celebrations. Some people pressure guests to cover their own meal or even buy clothes in the occasion or contribute beyond their means. Now, reciprocity becomes a burden. Instead of genuine giving, Some cultures turn monetary gifts into a rigid, calculated exchange, removing the spirit of generosity. Like I've said, you gave me a book worth 2 naira, and then you are returning a pen to me worth 1.5 naira because that's the worth of what you gave me. Now, after all this, you say, what is the balance? Now, the key to preserving this positive aspect of this culture, that is monetary giving while avoiding certain coercion, lies in the intention and expectation. If giving remains voluntary and rooted in generosity, it strengthens relationship. However, when it turns into an unspoken obligation or a tool for financial gain, it can feel transactional or even exploitative. Now, ultimately, whether in tradition or extortion, it depends on cultural lens and the way it is practiced. Finally, do you think monetary gifting in your culture leans more towards tradition or social pressure? Now, that is the question I want to hear how you answer it in the comment section. Now, please do follow us on this channel, subscribe, share our videos, and leave your comments. Let's hear what you've got to say. What do you think about social giving? There's gifting or monetary or otherwise in your own culture. Is it exploitative, or you feel is putting social pressure? It's a good tradition to continue. Thank you, and may God bless you.